What what is going on, everybody? How are we doing today? My name is Anthony DiMaggio, and welcome to episode number one of 2018 for the brand new Radio Kart Northeast Edition show. I am riding solo on this first episode. I believe this is the first ever pre-recorded episode. Um, just a little bit of a background about myself. I've been racing go-karts since 2015. I have only raced at the Genesee Valley Kart Club in Avon, New York. I've won 10 races and won my first championship last year in the LO206 division at the Speedway. And so this year, I'm hoping to be moving up to race some of the new Champions Cup, which was the LO206 Cup previously. And, we'll see what other racing lies ahead of me. So that's just a little background about me. But on to the important task at hand. Some of the stuff that's happening in the Northeast for karting and in the Midwest. The 206 Cup has become one of probably the most popular touring series for kart racing. They had some problems with the licensing and with Briggs and Stratton, so they had to change their name to something different other than the 206 Cup. So they changed their company name to Cup Karts North America, which is now the Champions Cup. They're actually having 3 divisions this year, which is really cool to see expanding within a series, which means that the karting community is growing, and you can, touch different regions of the country, which is what they're doing now. They added a 3rd division for Florida, which is pretty cool. There isn't really much of a schedule on that schedule yet, because I believe that there's some scheduling conflicts. But the Central Division, which is primarily what I will be covering, has their schedule looking all good. The first round of the Central Division for the Champions Cup is going to be at Concept Haulers Motor Speedway in Norway, Illinois. That'll be May 4th through the 6th. That is actually a combo race, which is really cool because AKRA started doing this with the North-South shootout with their divisions, which we'll get to later. But basically what's happening is the North Division and the Central Division are coming together for one race that'll count for points for both series, which is good because you get a lot of people, more people at the one event, and the kart counts are up, and which is a good thing for the karting community. And when there's high kart counts, it grabs even more people's attention. Then they will be going to Mid-State Kart Club in Illinois as well. They'll be going there June 1st through the 3rd. Then the series is heading to a brand new track in 2018, East Lansing Kart Track, June 29th through July 1st. I'm actually pretty excited to see how the race at East Lansing will go. It's a brand new track for everybody, so everybody will pretty much be on an equal playing field on top of the equal playing field of the Briggs LO206 engine, which is going to be really cool. It's going to be interesting because I know several people who used to run WK Gold Cup back in the day when Gold Cup went there. So it'll be interesting to see if those guys adapt faster than some of the other guys, which I would assume so, because a lot of them have a lot of really, really good experience. I'm actually trying to go to East Lansing for that race as well. That's hopefully one of the races I'll be attending. Hopefully one of the races I'll be attending as well is the final round of the Central Division for the Champions Cup, which is at G&J Kartway in Camden, Ohio, July 27th through the 29th. That, I believe, was one of the highest kart counts of the year last year in the Central Division. I'll have to double check on that. but the senior medium class actually had a lot of karts in it. I believe they had 15 to 20 karts in that range. And then also the Grand Championships are going back to Newcastle, Indiana for the national championship race. I'm actually really excited to see now that the company has expanded to not only even more throughout the Midwest and up toward the Northeast in Ohio, they've also expanded down to Florida. Now, I'm not really sure how all the details on the Florida series at the moment, just because of, like I said there were some scheduling conflicts. So I'm kind of interested to see how that'll work out, which could add a lot more people coming to the Grand Championships, which will be amazing. You might even have people, have to qualify for the main event. That's how big the classes will probably be, which would be pretty crazy, because karting hasn't seen that in a long, long, long time. Another series that is going on for LO206 racing, and even some other 4-cycle and 2-cycle stuff, is the American Kart Racing Association Sprint Cup Northern Tour. I'll be covering the Northern Tour primarily. This series is not nearly as popular as Cup Karts North America, the Champions Cup, but it's still a good series. Bill McCutcheon and Keith Champagne, they run a good show there. They try to keep it affordable, fun, and as much track time as possible. I have run the 2 races with them, one in 2016 and one in 2017 at the Genesee Valley Kart Club in Avon, New York. So they will be opening up their series April 20th, 21st, and 22nd at Jacksonville, Florida for the North-South Shootout. This is kind of what I was comparing the Norway race to earlier, with trying to combine the 2 divisions to add to the kart counts. Then they will be heading to Nicholson Speedway in Maryland, June 23rd and 24th. These are 2-day events. The North-South Shootout will be 3-day events. Then they will be heading to Thompson, Ohio, the same weekend that the Champions Cup is going to G&J Kartway. So there's going to be a lot of racing in Ohio, July 28th and 29th at Thompson Kart Raceway. I was originally supposed to go there last year for the WK Gold Cup race, but that obviously got canceled. I really would have liked to try that track out. If there wasn't a scheduling conflict with G&J Kartway, I would have probably wanted to go to Thompson just for, more track time and experience. But G&J Kartway is a great racetrack, so. Then they will be heading to my home track, September 8th through the 9th at the Genesee Valley Kart Club in Avon, New York. Really excited, that they're going back there. I'll be in college, so I won't be going there, unfortunately. All of you high school, college race car drivers and karting guys out there, you all know what I'm talking about. College is expensive. It's craziness. Also, some stuff going on in the Northeast, local-wise, is the Genesee Valley Kart Club. They start their season out on April 29th. They run every Sunday. They also have Saturday practices. If you want to go up for the weekend, you can practice and you can race. Very, very low entry fees. I think it's like $20, $30, which isn't really bad at all for the, getting the amount of laps that you do around that track. Thompson Kart Raceway also has their local program going. Very similar format to Avon. Thompson actually has many different track configurations, which is really, really cool. Both tracks run 2-cycle, Yamahas, and they run the LO206, GVKC and Thompson Kart Raceway, that is. GVKC has more 4-cycle classes than Thompson does. So if you're a 4-cycle guy and you have, Pro Gas Animal engine, the methanols. I believe they still run those at Avalon as well in some open classes. So that'll be really cool. If you wanted to go up there and run, some of the 4-cycle stuff, I might put my Pro Gas back on my engine just because those engines were so fun. I really miss the high horsepower that those engines gave, but I do really, really respect the durability of the LO206. That's why I switched over. It's just financially, it makes sense. Like, you can run a lot more races without the rebuilds and everything, which is really, really cool. Also, Newcastle Motorsports Park has been, the top of, local stuff. It's like the premier local series, if you will. They have many, many, many karts. About like 20 to 30 in 2 different LO206 senior classes. I think they also have added sportsmen and juniors in those, and masters in that as well. They also have, a lot of the 2-cycle stuff with the tags and the Yamahas. And they've also been doing, last year they hosted their first ever endurance race for LO206. It was 125 laps. I believe it was called the New Pardon me. It was basically called the Newcastle Motorsports Park 125. It was a 125 lap race. I apologize for my brain fart there. I'm, used to not used to this whole interview radio type thing, so I'm just learning the ropes, as you will. Also, so the Newcastle is running 2 of those races this year. One in the springtime and then one in the fall. So that'll be pretty cool. It's cool, seeing a lot of drivers, make that race, and they're actually running the CIK bodywork. So if you have that, want to bolt that on, you want to run lots and lots and lots of laps with some driver changes, I would definitely recommend going to Newcastle for those events. Those seem really, really cool. Also, Battle at the Brickyard, that's but from USAC. They are probably going to be one of the premier series along with the Champions Cup with their events. But at the Battle at the Brickyard, more so than Elkhart Grand Prix, it's just so popular. Both were, but Battle at the Brickyard more so just because you're racing at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And just like that feeling, to run at Indianapolis, it's got to be one of the coolest things ever. It doesn't really matter what type of vehicle you've driven at that track, but you could definitely say that you've actually driven on Indianapolis Motor Speedway, which not many people are able to say. So that series, that's coming back the first weekend in July. I am going to try to go to that. That is on my bucket list, to go to Indianapolis. As a motorsports junkie as I am, it's really, really, really cool. Unfortunately, I will have to convert to the CIK bodywork. That's another debate for karting. I won't really try to get into that on here. However, it is really, really, really cool to see so many different, people come together at one big karting event. Kind of similar to the Grand Championships at Newcastle, 100-plus karts at Newcastle for that. Just for a regular kart race was really cool. So that's just a rundown of my rundown of the schedule and what's happening in my portion of the country. I'll let Joseph, Carter, and Nelson talk more about the events that they have going on in their part of the nation. I really appreciate them giving me the opportunity to talk with you guys, though. Really cool of Joseph to allow me to have a part in the show, because I've actually watched a lot of the episodes and really, really enjoyed it. Now, we're going to talk about, the LO206, just kind of expansion and how it's like really expanded. It's something that I haven't really seen, because I haven't really been involved in karting long enough to see a lot of, shifts in karting. But I've just noticed, because I got into the sport in 2015, and I started out with the ProGas Animal engine, and it was a popular class. It was, 8,000 RPMs, very, very fast. And then as 2016 came around, it was still popular, but on the National Gold Cup stage, WK, which obviously I believe that series is dead now, you saw a shift in LO206s just because you saw the increase in price of the ProGas Animal engines, which kind of drives people away from the sport. So lots of people started switching to LO206 just because of the cheaper costs and maintenance, and you don't have to do the rebuild as often, and you don't have, it's spec engine. You don't have to pay the engine builder to do, dyno work on it. So that has really helped the karting industry. Even though, I want to see some series bring back a higher horsepower 4-cycle engine. I believe that this is a good baseline. We got to get a lot more people in the sport first before we try to expand even further. So, and it's really cool just to see the expansion of the Champions Cup, formerly known as the 206 Cup, just to see the growth of a series. Just because you see series, dying, or you see them do okay, and then they fall off the face of the earth. But so it's really, really cool to just finally see, Greg and Steve, just they had a vision, and they're getting that vision, they're actually making that vision a reality. So I'm really, really excited to, be a part of that this year. I will be chatting with you guys about my, finalized racing plans, because, racing's hard sometimes. You gotta, plan around family and other events and school and all that fun stuff. So be sure to let you know what races I'm at, and if you're ever there and, just drop by my pit area, I'd be more than happy to shake your hand, talk to you, and we'll offer you, some food and refreshments. Should be a good time. So, all right, that's my little first episode of the Radio Kart Northeast edition. Again, I gotta thank, Joseph, Nelson, and Carter for letting me come aboard, be the fourth man in line to, bring you some of the other information in different series and different local racetracks to try to help the growth of karting in those areas, and especially here in the Northeast. I'm really excited to, keep bringing you guys more information, and as these series keep going, I'll be... Oh, that's my dog barking. It's a live show, folks, so... Well, live of me recording it, so... Oh. Alright, anyways. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to, bringing you guys the results as these series come about, and as the results come in, I'll be sure to run down through. I won't just list off the winners. I'll list, several positions down the line. So, and like I said, this is a pre-recorded episode, so it's a little different because I originally got some stuff set up to do a live YouTube stream, but my computer decided it didn't want to work anymore. So I am using my, camera and everything, and some editing software on some school computers to get this video to you. So I will come at you guys again soon for an announcement on when, my next episode is going to be. And hopefully that'll be when I got my new computer and we're live. Because I'd love to, talk to you guys and chat and everything. I'd really enjoy that. I just want to thank all of you all for watching. It's been Anthony DiMaggio, episode 1 of Radio Kart Northeast Edition. I hope to see you guys on the next episode. Thanks for watching, everybody, and have a great day.